Good morning. I am back at Goose Pond Rd, and I am going to hike 2.7 miles to the Trapper John shelter. And today we're going to see Holt's ledge, and hopefully there will be a little bit of a view. It's supposed to rain all weekend, but right now there's a break in the weather, so I figured I'd come out and do this. It'll be like 5.5 miles total. We can't have all sunny days on the trail. I mean, we could, but I had the lofty goal of trying to do all of the New Hampshire miles while I'm here, or get as close to all of them as I can. It's a very lofty goal. I don't know if I'll get, I don't know if I'll make it, but I can certainly try. This little bit of the trail is so nice. It'd be awesome if it was like this for the entire trip. Alas, I don't think it will be. Had to break out the veil because it is quite buggy at the moment, which seems logical because I'm right by a pond and it was raining for a couple of hours this morning, and I forgot my bug repellent, so of course I'm gonna have a million mosquito bites. I'm always so prepared. I reached the steep part, and you can never see how steep it is, but the trail goes up that way, that way, that way. And the hardest thing about today's little section of trail is going to be that I go up and over, and then I go up and over to come back. So, could actually take 5 hours to do this one. Maybe not. Maybe like 4.5. We shall see. But, you guys, yesterday when I was driving to work, this creature went darting across the road, and it looked like a black weasel. And that's when I heard about the Fisher cat. Actually, I think Max told me about the Fisher cat when we were backpacking a couple weeks ago. And yeah, it's like a vicious, carnivorous weasel that will take on anything in its path. So that was really cool seeing that run across the road. Found a wall. Oh, and a chipmunk sitting in the wall. Hello, friend. Hello, friend. Where'd you go, friend? So, these walls, you can't touch them. It's against the law to move the rocks on the walls. I think it's also against the law to add to them. So, it's very cool. I think it's raining again, but I'm not getting wet, so I'm just gonna hike on. I do have my rain jacket, but some kind of forest road. Goes that way. We're going this way. We're making pretty good time, considering how steep the trail is. I'm almost halfway to Trapper John Shelter. Wowzers. That is a pretty steep up. Can you see you can sort of see the stairs. I'm glad I decided to come out hiking. I figured it's a short enough hike that even if it rains really hard, it's half a day hike, it's not a whole day hike. And like I said in the last video, I'm setting myself up to do a 6 or 7 day backpacking trip in the White Mountains. I have the lofty goal of going from Kinsman Notch to Mount Washington. It is a very lofty goal. And I don't know. looking at it from weeks away, it seems impossible. But I know that when my feet hit the trail, I'm usually good. Been waiting to see a newt this summer. They're so cute. The little orange newts. They're all over the trail in the Northeast. I know I have seen them down in Pennsylvania too. Getting close to Holt's Ledge, and I think there might even be a view. This isn't Holt's Ledge, but I did find a view. Check it out. You can see the Connecticut River. I think that's the Connecticut River over there. I could be wrong. I'm often wrong. It's really pretty though. This is why you shouldn't really get caught up in the elevation profile, looking at it on gut hooks. The elevation profile on gut hooks says that this is a pretty straight up hike, but right now it's completely level-ish. So yeah, you're better off not looking at it. I mean, I suppose it can't hurt to look at it for a second so you kind of know where the climbs are, but sometimes it's not nearly as bad as it looks on the app. I'm just saying. And if you're not looking at it, it's okay. And if you look at it for too long, it's really discouraging. So, take it for what it is. Going down. Found another view that is still not Holt's Ledge. Okay, welcome to the beginning of Holt's Ledge. Turns out that the beginning of Holt's Ledge, where I showed you that view, that was the view. And it was spectacular. I'm almost to the Trapper John shelter, which begs the question, is it named after Trapper John MD from MASH? Does anybody know? Maybe there will be a sign at the shelter. I just passed a group of kids from Camp Aquila. And one of the boys said, "I need one of those things like you're wearing," referring to my bug net. Because somebody had to just take a gnat out of his eye. I was like, yep, the bug net is an awesome thing. Oh, brother, they're the first hikers I've seen today. And they look like they were day hiking. So I imagine I might run into them on the way back to my car. Or not, because they could have been dropped off at the road by the camp counselor van person and then getting picked up on the other end at Goose Pond Rd, which would make more sense because this little stretch between Dorchester Road and Goose Pond Road is actually almost 6 miles long. So maybe I won't run into them. I just entered the do not camp except at the shelter zone, which means we're very close to the shelter. And I'm gonna stop there, use the privy, and have some food. Oh, I think I hear more people coming. I do. Hi. Hi. Yep. These stragglers. Right, I've reached the junction that goes to the Trapper John shelter. And let's head over that way and have some lunch. It says it's 0.3 miles, but I don't know, that's fine. I think this is the only way in to the shelter, and according to Guthook, it also has the remains of an old Dartmouth Outing Club cabin. That's fun. I'm so glad I came hiking. I'm so glad I didn't let the rain stop me. Welcome to the Trapper John shelter, where I have found people who are hiking. I don't know if they're working out here through hiking. I don't know. But look, there's the chimney from the old cabin, and there's the shelter. Right, here is the privy at the Trapper John shelter. It's typical, except that this one has a chair back and a sign. It's very small. It's slightly better than the privy that is at the Hexacuba shelter. All right, I'm gonna eat. This is a nice shelter, and there's a brook close by that you can get water from. And look at this. This must be the remains of the cabin that the guide, Guthook guide, talks about. The old chimney. Oh, and there's like an old Singer sewing machine up there too. Super cool. Lunch today is gonna be pistachios because these have lots of calories, and peanut M&Ms. This is superfood, you guys. perfect for lunch. Okay, took a nice 30-minute lunch break, and now it's gonna be time to head back to the car. It's 11:30, and just gonna check out the miles, and I will see you back at the trailhead. But first, before I go, I met a couple of thru hikers here at the Trapper John shelter. Trail names Shaggy and Spice. And that was exciting because I haven't seen thru hikers in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I think the last time I saw a thru hiker was 2 weeks ago when I was backpacking with Max. So that was fun. Right, okay. See you back at the trailhead. Unless, of course, something eventful happens. I'm back at Holt's Ledge, and I can see the fire tower on Smarts Mountain. Check it out. It's like a teeny little speck up there, like right in the middle of the trekking pole. Couldn't see it earlier because it was still pretty overcast. That was eventful. I'm back. I just met a flip-flop thru hiker, and her trail name is Buckles, and we stopped and chatted for a bit, and yeah, she was hiking fast. But she started down in Harper's Ferry, I think at the end of April, she said. I was like, wow, you're making good time. Oh, here comes another hiker. She's been hiking with a group of people. Now, I just met one of Buckles' hiking buddies, the people that she's been, I guess, trail family-ish. A kid from the UK and his trail name was Cinnamon Ricky. So I went from not seeing any thru hikers for a couple of weeks to seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 today. Super cool. Oh, here comes some more hikers. Some more. Right, okay. 6.5 miles in just under 4.5 hours, which is probably more like 4 hours because I kept meeting people and stopping and chatting with thru hikers and hikers and backpackers and trail crew. So it was a really good and fun hike, and I'm really glad I didn't let the rain scare me off because it didn't rain at all. Yeah, so thanks for coming along. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you all again next time out on the trail.